All right, today we're talking about something pretty fascinating in the world of AI, a new model called Tiny Aya. And really, it's all about tackling one of the biggest hurdles in AI right now. How do we make this amazing technology work for everyone, no matter what language they speak? So let me just ask you this, right from the start. Does AI really speak your language? I mean, does it get the nuance, the culture, the way you actually talk? For a whole lot of people out there, the answer is a big, fat no. And that right there, that gets to the heart of AI's big language problem. The reality is a huge portion of the world is completely left out of the AI revolution. And it all boils down to this fundamental issue of how these models are built in the first place. Okay, so think about this. All those super powerful AI models you hear about, in English, they're brilliant. But the second you step outside of that, their performance doesn't just dip a little, it completely falls off a cliff. We're talking about a massive AI language gap. This problem really hits hard for what experts call low-resource languages. Now, that might sound a bit technical, but it's actually a really simple idea. It's just any language that doesn't have a giant library of books, articles, and websites for an AI to train on. And because of that, billions of people are basically being left on the sidelines. And I mean, just look at the difference here. It's staggering. For English, AI performance is way up here. But for most other languages, it's just a tiny little fraction of that. This is the digital divide of our time, right here in this chart. But what if we could actually change that? Well, this is where a brand new project from Cohere Labs comes into the picture. So let's meet Tiny Aya, a family of models built from the ground up to close this language gap. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Tiny Aya is not trying to be the biggest model on the block. It's an open-weight model, which means researchers can actually see how it's built and improve on it. And get this, it's tiny, only about 3 billion parameters. But its whole mission is to cover over 70 languages, with a special focus on those low-resource regions we were just talking about. It's all about accessibility. So you're probably wondering, how does it do all that? Well, the secret sauce isn't that Tiny AI is one single giant brain. Nope. Its power comes from being a whole family of specialized models working together. Imagine it this way. Instead of hiring one person who knows a little bit about everything, you build a team of experts. Each one is a true specialist in their own region, with a deep understanding of the local culture and language. That's exactly the strategy Tiny Aya is using. And here's the team right here. You've got the global model, which gives a good, solid performance across all the languages. But then you have these amazing specialists. Earth, which focuses on Africa and West Asia. Fire for South Asia. And water for the Asia-Pacific and Europe. Each one gives up a little bit of that global reach to get way, way better in its own region. Okay, so the big question is, how can a model that's so small actually hang with the giants of the AI world? Well, it all comes down to some really clever design choices that let it punch way above its weight. Just take a look at this comparison. A monster model like Mistral 14B is an absolute beast when it comes to stuff like coding or complex math. But Tiny Aya, at just a fraction of the size, is designed for a totally different mission. It excels at high-quality translation and understanding across tons of languages, the very places where the big models start to struggle. Its architecture is super smart, too. It can handle up to 8,000 tokens. You can think of tokens as bits of words. Now, to keep things zippy, it uses a sliding window to focus on what was just said. But, and this is the cool part, it also has this special ability to see the entire conversation, so it never loses the bigger picture. It's kind of the best of both worlds. All right, so the theory sounds great, but does it actually work in the real world? Well, let's look at this really cool test they ran that shows what this thing can do. So here's what they did. It was simple, but so smart. They first asked the model in English to explain a really complex cultural idea, wabi-sabi. Then they asked it to give that exact same explanation, but this time in Hindi. And then they asked for it one more time, in Swahili. This is a tough test of whether it can keep the meaning straight across different languages. And the result? Honestly, it was pretty amazing. The model perfectly kept the core meaning and the structure of the explanation across English, Hindi, and Swahili. This is exactly what it was designed to do, maintain that deep understanding no matter the language. So, all of this, it brings us to a much bigger, almost philosophical question about what we really want our AI systems to be. It's not just a race to build the biggest, most powerful thing possible. It really makes you wonder, right? Are we just trying to build the quote-unquote smartest AI, or should we be trying to build the most useful AI for the largest number of people on the planet? And I think this quote just says it all. This really captures the whole spirit of Tiny Aya. It's not trying to win some math competition. It's trying to be a genuinely helpful tool in all those communities, all those cultures, all those rooms that the giant models just never get to. And that really leaves us with this one last thought to chew on. Projects like Tiny Aya are really just the beginning of this new chapter. So just imagine what happens to our world, to knowledge, to culture, to how we connect with each other when AI finally learns to speak everyone's language.